All right, welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Brad Lee.
And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Again, we're doing this show because we think everybody needs to know that the left is evil.
Classic.
Good Friday, revelers. Is it Friday? I forgot what day of the week it is.
I said, yes, it is.
So hopefully our listeners, as much as we love them, I hope they have better things to do than watch us right now. But if they don't, make sure you get on, like, comment, subscribe, and
Share.
Share us. Helps us with the algorithm and helps people find us. And hopefully we're a little entertaining as we sit here and rant about shit. Anyway, how you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Been kind of a slow day, so I gotta look for some more obscure interviews and stories and whatnot. So it's kind of why I was like, so the whole Chinese balloon thing. Have you caught any of the updates on that story?
Here we got this right here from the Daily Wire. New information released about object U.S. military shot down over Alaska. The unidentified object that the U.S. military shot down over Alaska on Friday reportedly had a cylindrical shape and was about the size of a small car. A U.S. official told Politico that the object did not appear to have any observable surveillance equipment. President Joe Biden was reportedly notified quickly that the object had crossed into U.S. airspace late on Thursday night, and the decision was made to shoot it down. So basically nothing much, really. Bro, your microphone is doing something crazy. It looks like we lost him, folks. Looks like it's just you and me. So yeah, there was another balloon that they shot down already over Alaska. Paternalistic and lazy regulators unleash flurry of actions against crypto companies, but not all of them are on board. Interesting.
All right, can you see me, hear me?
Yes, your microphone is way better too.
Yeah, the baby called me.
Oh wow! The Chiefs star QB praises God, wife, and kids after scoring NFL top honor. So Patrick Mahomes is a conservative, homie.
I don't know if I'd say that. There's some awfully liberal ass athletes that.
Well, he definitely doesn't seem to fall very far to the left.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about his politics whatsoever.
Well, his dad's a pretty badass baseball player, and his dad married.
Who's his dad?
And his dad married a white woman.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
I don't know I can't remember who his dad is. I think it's Patrick Mahomes is his dad. Let me see. I'll find out.
So he's a junior?
He might, but he might not be. I could be completely wrong about that.
Anyway, what were you talking about while I was like wrapped up?
Yeah, he is a junior. It's Patrick Levon Mahomes the second.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder why they did the second instead of junior.
Yeah, his dad was a Major League Baseball pitcher.
Oh, that's cool. I had no idea. So, anyways, okay. So China getting all uppity and antsy about the balloon thing. There was a little bit of talk that it was one of like I didn't know if it was hundreds or thousands, but they sent out a whole fleet of balloons all over the world. So they're invading everybody's airspace.
Mm-hmm.
So like
I've heard that they've had some balloons with ultra hypersonic missiles attached to them, but I don't know how reliable that is.
Maybe.
Well,
Like, I don't
it
know.
wouldn't surprise me though.
Yeah, I don't really know enough about how that technology works to like comment too deeply on it. It just seems to me that might be I don't know, how would you not like knock the balloon out of the air when you launch the missile?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
Like,
I mean,
because
especially like a hypersonic missile.
well, does it just drop does it just drop the missile and then the missile ignites and then it propels
Yeah,
itself, or
and that's the thought that like went through my head is, okay, well, maybe it like is it like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
it'd be interesting. But even so, even if it's not a hypersonic missile that's on a balloon, what if there's an EMP charge on a balloon?
Oh, there's definitely some like weapons possibilities on there, and it is kind of like there is some like risk involved for sure. It just doesn't sound like, as far as the hypersonic missiles, it just seems to me like they would have launching issues. Like, so I just can't figure out how they would do that. If that makes any sense.
No, I mean, the only way they would be able to do it is to be able to do it, remotely, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know. You're military, right? So,
Yeah.
like, does most of that ordnance, would the plane like drop it and then it goes, or?
Well, I mean, that would probably be more Air Force. But I mean, like, the shit that we were always with was ground, surface to air. It wasn't in like the Marines or the Navy or the Air Force, where they have like ships and shit. I don't know, because I know the Apaches, they shoot it from the fucking wings. They have
Right,
like
but
basically the rocket launchers that shoot out.
yeah, and I guess they kind of like release the missiles and then they fire, huh?
Like all the videos I've ever seen, yeah, is the claw releases and then the missile drops and then goes. But I mean, I wasn't in the Air Force, so that's not exactly my
Dude,
specialty.
Army's got planes too.
No, I know.
Wasn't the Osprey an Army vehicle or an Army plane?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Like, we had to talk about the Osprey.
Yeah. The
So
bird,
I don't know. It's just like I'm just thinking like anything hypersonic would have to like create an awful lot of disturbance, and I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I'm not an aeronautical engineer, so maybe I'm just thinking it more complicated than it is.
Who knows? We don't even know half the technology we actually have.
So, anyway, so the funniest thing about them getting all uppity about this balloon to me is the fact that for years, like all their neighbors are complaining about their actions in the South China Sea, which, although they try and make the argument that they own all of it, which they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They're like constantly like harassing other countries' fishing vessels. I mean, even us, they forced down one of our planes and like tore it apart and like inspected it. And I think they held the pilots for like several days. You know, so for them getting uppity about it, considering the fact that they've literally like taken down planes and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like doesn't put them like really in a position to protest that their balloon that literally traversed half of our country, like now, I mean, them allowing that to happen is ridiculous, but it did happen. So it doesn't really leave them in a big position to protest, I think. Because, so like the list I had, they have violated the airspace or waters of Vietnam, Thailand, the Philippines, Japan, South Korea, and yeah, so like basically they're violating all their neighbors' space, and then anything that comes within like 500 miles of mainland China, they say is in their territory, and like try and like shoot it down or try and like take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's well, a little hypocritical if you're going to sit there and complain about something coming near your airspace, but you're like stuff that's goes into another country's territory, you like play innocent. Like it doesn't work. So yeah, so I just think it's like ridiculous. I think Joey, his dad should have told him when you grow up, if you ever become president, don't be a little bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
So that's my issue. That's my issue on that one. So the other one that I saw, Carrie Lake. Love it. So I don't know how, like, I mean, it could work out great. Obviously, Kristen Sinema didn't like how they were treating her in the Democrat Party. And so she left the party, right?
Yep.
So there's already a Democrat that's announced that they're going to run for that seat, figuring, oh, that should be a sure bet because, you know, Democrats hold the seat. A Democrat holds the seat now, and she's not a Democrat anymore, so she's not going to be able to run for the seat as a Democrat. So they think that they can go and scoop it from Sinema. And now Carrie Lake's looking at running for the Senate seat. How awesome would that be?
That would be sick.
It'd be nice to have somebody who's going to be outspoken proponent of reforming national election integrity, like making sure that the states get shorn up, state rights and responsibilities, as opposed to the way Biden is trying to trying to like federalize it, take it over. You know what I mean? So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of cool that she'd be there. And like, I like the fact that she'd be a senator who knows how to play the press.
Well, that would also take the Senate back to the way it was before the midterms, right?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Because
it'd take back.
it would take a Democrat seat from the House of Representatives.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be in 2024, and we're going to have a shot at a whole lot of seats.
Senate.
So this election in the Senate was not that great for the Republicans because the majority of the seats up for contest were Republican seats. So the next because they only get elected every 6 years.
Right.
So the next round of elections, the majority of the seats that are going to be up are Democrat seats. So the Republicans will have a really good chance of flipping a lot of seats because they're going to have a shot in deep territory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So long as they pick good candidates.
Yeah, as long as we don't get Herschel Walker again.
Or Mohammed Oz.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think.
What about Fetterman, man? He's back in the hospital.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew he wasn't fit for office. Like, we're not confused about that at all. But again, This is Pennsylvania where they also elected a dead guy, right?
I knew you were going to say that.
In the same election.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, like, I mean, they voted for a brain dead president, a dead guy. So why would the half dead guy be a problem?
Mm-hmm.
So, and in all fairness, Fetterman's smarter than Biden.
Yes.
So anyway, so yeah, that would be one that would flip it back to 50. There's a lot of races that are going to be open that I think we have a shot at, and hopefully, what's her name over at the RNC, like is getting her shit together about ballot harvesting.
Rona McDaniels.
Yeah. So hopefully she's getting ballot boxes ready for all the gun ranges, for all the
churches, the Cabela's,
churches, all the barbecue restaurants.
Yep, everywhere.
Well, and then they need to look at some of these areas that they don't really look at. That if we go and ballot harvest, we'll still be successful. Mm-hmm. Because we need to remember it's low information voters that are driving the election right now. They've got to be low information, but because you can't tell me, hey, this guy is the one that's made it, so you can't afford to feed your family right now. Vote for him. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me they have a clue who they're voting for.
It's still early in the race.
But well, I mean, yeah, but they better not wait until like the second half of 2024 to start putting it in place. They need to start it now. They need to be signing up churches for the program, signing up everything for the program.
Yeah, everywhere. Hook us up with some Republican voters who will give us their ballot. Or just people that will give us their ballot. They don't even have to be Republican. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah, and if you just like go, like if volunteers from the Republican Party went out and did it, I have more faith in them, to be honest. And they'd actually tell the people how, like, if they haven't filled out the ballot, they'd tell the people how each of the people stand. You know what I mean? They may tell them why they prefer one candidate over the other, but they'd still at least be making informed decisions as they go down the ballots. You know, when Democrats, they're just like, okay, for this person, vote for this person, vote for this person. Anywhere you see,
we'll give you money.
Huh?
Here, we'll give you money.
Well, we can't prove that. Well, actually, they were doing that in
Project Veritas did that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's going on with James O'Keefe?
I don't know. Seems like a coup, somebody from the inside. It's weird how all of a sudden he does this Pfizer expose and then, like, shortly afterwards, fucking this happens.
Yeah, so have you seen anything about why he was ousted? I just heard that he was ousted.
Somebody came out and said that he was just a terrible boss and he berated people. And one time he ate somebody's sandwich out of the refrigerator that wasn't his.
Are you serious?
Basically,
He's suspended over some petty bullshit like that?
yeah, basically he was just an asshole to some fucking disgruntled employee.
You know what I'd say? How wonderful it is for you want.
Yeah.
Like
What
that's
the
I
fuck?
like sexual harassment and shit like that aside. It was also
Yeah.
my issue with the smoking bans. You know what I mean? This guy's running
Yeah.
the company, so he kind of has to be there, and he's doing great things for the company. You know what I mean?
He is the face of the company.
Yeah.
There would be no Project Veritas without James O'Keefe.
Oh
So,
yeah,
I
and
mean, I'm not going to sit here and simp for James O'Keefe because I don't know the whole story yet, and none of us do. So, I mean, maybe James O'Keefe was terrible, but right now, from what I've been hearing, is that it was just some BS bullshit about how he made him work long hours and fucking he was just an asshole of a boss.
okay.
But
Well, we've all had asshole
coming
bosses
from
that leave your
probably
job.
Gen Zer or millennial, I don't know that I tend to believe that it's that terrible.
Yeah. We used to have people that would, well, I mean, look at fucking crab fishermen who may get like whacked by a crab pot and die in any given day at
Yeah.
work. And you're sitting here complaining because your boss is mean to you. And chances are the person's a fuck up. But at the same time, like, fucking, I got yelled at by my boss one time because I literally just asked the guy, I'm like, dude, do you have a health problem or something? Because like every 5 minutes he was going to the bathroom instead of working.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ask that. I'm like, okay, well then he needs to work or he needs to find another job, you know? Like,
Yeah.
why are we paying him $20 an hour to sit in the bathroom?
How many times a day is one supposed to shit? Like
Well,
once, maybe twice.
and like every day, 5 minutes after you start working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
Oh
that
shit!
dude was a clown.
I'm so nervous about doing my job. I got shit. I got the bubble guts.
So anyway, but like I've like in my course of management, like I've had ridiculous shit. Like I had a guy who was late for work every day, like had multiple conversations with him. Then I started writing him up. Wrote him
Uh-huh.
up, wrote him up, wrote him up. He got 4 write-ups. I told him, dude, this is the last time you get written up. If you're late again, before all your write-ups drop off, you're gonna get fired. Next day, he was late. I fired him. He reported that I fired him because he was black.
Really?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you're in Houston. Over half of Houston is fucking black.
Well, that was in Alaska, but that was neither here nor there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, I don't know. Like at that time, probably 70% of my employees were minorities. Like if I gave a shit if people were minorities, I wouldn't have had any employees.
Uh-huh.
Like, but then when I was working at another company, I was running a store in a heavily Hispanic neighborhood. And a guy came in, tattoos all over his face, gang tattoos on his arms, like MS-13 tattoos on his arms,
Uh-huh.
and is applying for a job. And now, mind you, like the guy who took over my store that I had before that was somebody that I recruited and hired. He came in as a customer, and I had some conversations with him, and he knew retail. And so, like, I looked past the fact that he did have tattoos, but he didn't look like a gangbanger. He just was like a rocker with like rocker tattoos, you know what I mean? And he ended up being a really, really good manager. Like he ended up he was with the company for like 4 months and took over my store when I went on to my next project because I was a turnaround specialist. Like I fixed broken retail units, so I never got to stay in one place. As soon as it was fixed, I was off to the next problem. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so it wasn't about the tattoos. It was literally about the fact that he had gang tattoos. And his application said that he had 6 felonies and 3 of them were for embezzlement.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good idea.
So anyways, he tried reporting to corporate that that I was exercising discrimination in hiring practices. And so like the
Because
regional HR came into the store and was like talking to me about it. I'm like, you came in a good day because this is freight day. Go walk around my store and introduce yourself to all my employees, because everybody is here except for my assistant, and she'll be here in about 30 minutes. And it should all be perfectly clear. So she went around and she introduced herself to all the employees and like asked about me and all that. And like, I don't even know what she talked to them about because I didn't care.
Mhm.
And then she got back up to the front of the store about the same time that my assistant got there, and I introduced my assistant. And I'm like, okay, so do you see a problem with the claim that I discriminate in my hiring? She's like, no, why? I'm like, you just went and talked to all my employees, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, do you see any other white people working here? She's like, well, your assistant's white. I'm like, yes, but she's a foreign national. Like every single person that worked for me in that store was Hispanic. The only person that wasn't had 3 degrees, and she was an immigrant. And yet the accusation was that I was discriminating based on race. And so they were just like theorizing like some sort of discrimination must be going on. And like all the people I promoted were female. The third key was a Hispanic female. And like I had an equal mix of males and females. And if any sort of discrimination was going on, you'd have to argue that I was discriminating against white people.
Right.
But the reality is, my store reflected the community, because the community that store served was entirely Hispanic, with the exception, and the only reason that the other person was an exception is I actually recruited her to come work for the company because she was working on trying to pass her boards. But because she hadn't passed it, her degrees were in accounting, and so she came to work as the manager because she could handle the paperwork for me, because I hated paperwork. I liked being on the floor working. So I literally hired her because her strength would supplement my weakness. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it was like, it's just interesting though how like things get like hashed over in the job market. But the biggest thing I noticed is most of the people that would complain about, as far as employees complaining about me being a hard boss, the only people complaining were the people not working.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
the people not doing their job were the ones always complaining that I was such an ass. And like they'd end up going, like, one of my friends, Linnell, like I've known her for like 15 years now or something like that, or like 12 years. Anyway, we're actually pretty good friends. But when she was my employee, she hated me. She absolutely hated my guts because she thought I was an asshole. Because like I didn't take any excuses, I didn't take nothing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But later she realized that yeah, I was tough on her, but she wasn't giving her best effort, and I actually made her a better worker. You know what I mean? And maybe that was this guy's situation. Maybe James O'Keefe was really fucking an ass to him, but maybe he kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
So, did you just change the ticker?
Uh-huh.
So, I'm not, so that's my thing. I'm not worried about Trump having classified documents. I wouldn't even be worried about Biden having classified documents in his home, like as the president or even as the vice president. Like what bothers me about Biden is a lot of those documents date back to the time when he was a senator, when he would have had no access to have documents outside of the skiff.
Right.
So literally for him to have those documents, he had to have stolen them.
Uh-huh.
And he had to he was trying to pass the buck and say that like his assistant packed the wrong documents. Well, not as a senator, they didn't.
Right.
Because you never should have the documents. That's like that other guy, I forget his name, but there was a guy who was literally like in the skiff, like stuffing documents down his pants. I'm like, did he learn that from Biden?
Probably.
But
Biden probably just walks out there, walks with him in his freaking folder or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever it was he was doing, he was obviously taking documents that he wasn't supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of a concern to me than that. Like on Donald Trump, like I still say like you could tell me that like Barack Obama. Well, I mean Barack Obama took all of his documents, was supposed to digitize them and return them to the archives, and hasn't returned a single document. And we're talking some like 600,000 documents.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what he has, because FBI hasn't checked yet. You know what I mean? And I have a feeling Obama's not going to get raided, but I don't really care. Like literally, this was somebody who was like exposed to like all of our secrets. He doesn't need the documents if he knows the information. If he was going to betray the country, he doesn't need the document to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like stupid. So as long as they're not like carelessly handled, I don't really care if former presidents or former vice presidents have documents. Right? So like Obama had his secured. And again, the same thing with the tapes of Bill Clinton in his sock drawer. If he decided that wasn't the archives business, okay, more power to him. And I didn't like Clinton. You know what I mean? Like either Clinton, but specifically Bill. I didn't like him. But even that I thought was like a stupid story, because the president, until he walks out that door, he gets to make the decision about everything that happens in the country, which means he can make the decision that he gets to keep these documents.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's one thing, like, yeah, it's just, the whole thing's stupid on the president or vice president. Like, so I'm not even worried about Joe's documents from his time as vice president, even though, like, we know the ones that involve Ukraine are highly suspect. Mm-hmm. I'm actually kind of glad he had those if they end up being able to match him up to stuff that's on that laptop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that would finally be a smoking gun about his corruption. Because he may get everything. Maybe he doesn't get everything wrong. He's just always paid to be on the wrong side. But you know, that just seems to be the, like, if there is information from those documents in Hunter's laptop that would prove that he was using classified information to make money, you know what I mean? So that would be a smoking gun that would finally get Joe Biden. And I say JoJo because, you know, JoJo's are potatoes, and let's face it, that dude's a potato. So does that make sense though?
Yeah.
So, but it's, oh my God. And are they like obliterating Kamala Harris right now? Like Hillary's after her now. Like several Democrats in the Senate are after her now. Like they want her ass out of the way.
What are they saying?
Oh, well, Hillary said that she has no political instincts.
Well, she doesn't. I mean, but neither does Hillary. Unless you're talking about lying.
Hillary at least has some. She's just a cutthroat bitch, you know?
Right.
I mean, she
just lays on her back.
Hey, she managed to politic her way out of prison over those top secret information in her emails and the illegal server and all of that.
This is true.
So, I mean, she does have some political ability, and like, I mean,
she has a lot of help.
Yeah, she has. Well, I mean, but that's exactly what political ability is, because like it doesn't matter what you do; it's a matter of getting other people to do your will that makes you successful in politics. And Hillary is a shark on that. She's also a shark. Oh my God. Did you watch the episode yesterday?
What?
So I played a video of Greg doing an interview with Kamala, but he was like She was like, Hillary will kill you with kindness, which is, yeah, which is what she calls her knife or some shit like that. It was funny.
That's crazy.
So, and then, dude, do you want to see the video? It was really good. Oh,
Sure.
somebody made comments? Or was that you?
I did. That was me.
Keep it clean in the chat. We don't need more pickle comments. So this video was actually really good. I don't mind playing it like 2 days in a row because it was funny as hell.
Made of happiness, which is the name of her gun. So I'd listen to her for sure. Where was I? For more on all of this, we've got a surprise special guest. Joining me live from Washington, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Hello, Greg.
According to the Times, your own advisors have referred reporters to Democrats for quotes praising you, and even they say they've lost hope in you. What do you have to say about that?
Well, in order to galvanize everything that we have already discussed and everything that we've already brought down to America, okay, I think we need to understand that everything that we have uncovered and unburdened, we will continue to uncover and unburden even more going further.
You know, Hillary has a history of supporting all liberal women running for office, but now she's saying you're doomed. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, when it comes to Hillary, and, you know, I can make a list and send it to her on her private email, but I think she's well aware of everything that we have tried to bring and tried to undo more than what she has done and accomplished as her time as First Lady. Don't kill me, Hillary.
James Clyburn, South Carolina rep, who often backs people of color, was asked if you should still be Biden's running mate, and he said he'll leave that up to Joe. What do you think?
Look, we've galvanized a lot with electricity. And look at how much we've done with yellow school buses. Okay, think about the electric school buses for all the children. And they know that everything that we have unburdened, we will soon burden even further, despite the fact that we have yet to do anything positive for the country and bring it to its knees.
Last question, were you jealous when you saw your husband make out with Dr. Jill at the State of the Union?
That was so great. Joe's half dead. Let her live.
Well, thank you, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, good night. I'm gonna die. She had a really good voice. Her voice was like spot on. So was her cackle. That's hilarious.
So of course I lost my signal while the video was playing. Anyways,
I saw that. That was good. Did we lose you again, Rob? Or Bradley? Rob, where'd you go? Uh-oh. Coming back. There he is. There she blows.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah. Dude, that bitch had like the spot on voice. What happened? Okay, he's just gonna leave us whenever he wants, I guess. So the FBI finds more classified documents at Pence's home. Who cares? Let me get it off of there.
Dude, the
There he
CC,
is.
yeah, the CCP must have just got to the part where we were talking shit.
Oh yeah, bitches.
Dude, last episode we didn't say anything about China. Nothing happened to my signal. I'm just saying.
With the so much drama in the CCP, it's kind of hard being ROB.
Alrighty then. So, anyways, I love how she's like, "Don't kill me, Hillary."
Yeah.
That was awesome. So,
Her cackle and her voice was spot on.
dude, the cackle, the like repeating like stupid shit that was stupid the
Yeah.
first time.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was classic.
Yeah, it was all amazing. Anyway, I didn't really have anything else. That was kind of like all I saw for over the last day of what was going on. I know there's more going on. I just haven't had much time to get into it. So, was there anything else that you saw?
Nothing spectacular.
All right. Well, then we'll like pick it up tomorrow. I imagine we're gonna take Sunday off because you got a ball game to watch, right?
Yeah, but I guess I'm watching it.
Well, we'll take your pick tomorrow.
All right.
So, well, thank you, revelers, for joining us. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share,
comment.
Don't forget the notification bell. And y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.